In the world of art, there are masterpieces that are priceless. But in the world of crime, there is a heist that is legendary. On a cold, rainy St. Patrick's Day night in 1990, two men walked into a Boston museum and committed the largest property theft in history. They didn't use high-tech lasers or repelling gear. They didn't have a getaway helicopter. They had to fake mustaches, a roll of duct tape, and 81 minutes of uninterrupted access to some of the greatest treasures of the human race. Today, 13 empty frames still hang on the walls of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They are ghost reminders of the $500 million worth of art that vanished into the night. This is the story of the holy grail of art theft. This is the heist that remains, 35 years later, completely unsolved. Part 1. The Woman and Her Palace. To understand the crime, you have to understand the woman. Isabella Stewart Gardner was a rebel. She was a high society socialite in Boston who didn't care for the rules. She collected art like she collected friends obsessively. She built Fenway Court, a stunning Venetian-style palace in the heart of Boston, to house her collection. When she died in 1924, her will was ironclad. The museum was to be left for the education and enjoyment of the public forever. But there was a catch. She decreed that nothing, absolutely nothing, could be moved. No painting could be sold, and no new art could be added. If the arrangement of the museum was ever changed, the entire collection was to be shipped to Paris, sold, and the money given to Harvard University. This freeze frame in time made the museum a jewel box. But on March 18, 1990, that jewel box was cracked wide open. Part 2. The Midnight Knock. It's 1:24 in the morning. St. Patrick's Day celebrations are still winding down in the bars of Boston. At the museum's side entrance on Palace Road, two men in police uniforms pull up in an unmarked hatchback. Inside, two young, inexperienced security guards are on duty. One of them, 23-year-old Rick Abbott, is sitting at the security desk. The men in uniform buzz the intercom. Police, one calls out, "We're responding to a disturbance in the courtyard." Now, here is the first major mistake. The museum's security protocol strictly forbade opening the doors after hours. But Abbott, seeing the uniforms and the badges, hit the button. He let them into the secure foyer. One of the officers looks at Abbott and says, "You look familiar. I think there's a warrant out for your arrest. Come out from behind the desk." Abbott stepped away from the only button that could alert the police. The officers immediately pushed him against the wall and handcuffed him. The second guard arrived shortly after and was met with the same fate. "This isn't an arrest," one of the men whispered. "This is a robbery. Don't give us any trouble and you won't get hurt." The guards were wrapped in duct tape, eyes, mouths, and hands and dragged into the basement. They were tied to a steam pipe and left in the dark. The thieves now had the entire museum to themselves. Part 3. 81 minutes of chaos. Most bank robberies take 3 to 5 minutes. This heist took 81. What's truly amazing, or perhaps heartbreaking, about this theft is how amateurish the thieves seemed. They didn't use glass cutters. They smashed a heavy glass of the frames with their boots. They didn't carefully remove the canvases. They used serrated knives to cut the paintings right out of their frames, leaving jagged edges of canvas behind. They went straight for the heavy hitters. In the Dutch room, they took Rembrandt's only known seascape, The Storm on the Sea of Galilee. They took a Vermeer one of only 34 in existence. That single painting, The Concern, is valued today at over $250 million. It is the most valuable unrecovered object in the world. But then the theft gets weird. They passed up millions of dollars worth of tissue and Raphael paintings. Instead, they spent time unscrewing a tiny bronze eagle from the top of a Napoleonic flagpole. They took 5 sketches by Degas. They took an ancient Chinese bronze beaker from the Shang Dynasty. It was as if they had a shopping list. but the list made no sense. At 2:45 a.m., the thieves made two separate trips to their car with the rolled-up canvases. They went back to the basement, told the guards you'll be hearing from us, and vanished into the Boston fog. Part 4. The Investigation and the Dead Ends.
When the morning shift arrived at 8:15 a.m., they found a crime scene that looked like a war zone. Glass shards everywhere. Masterpieces gone.
The FBI took over the case immediately. They had DNA, though limited in 1990. They had descriptions of the thieves, and they had a museum full of motion sensor data. The data revealed something chilling. The motion sensors showed that one of the guards, Rick Abbott, had opened and closed the side door just minutes before the thieves arrived. Was it a signal? Abbott denied it, saying he always checked the door. He was never charged. But suspicion has followed him for decades. As the years turned into decades, the FBI looked at every corner of the criminal underworld. The primary theory, the Boston Mafia. In the early 90s, the Boston mob was in a bloody civil war. Investigators believed the art was stolen by a crew associated with mobster Bobby Donati. The idea was that the art could be used as a get-out-of-jail-free card. If a high-ranking mob boss was arrested, they could trade a Rembrandt for a reduced sentence. But Bobby Donati was murdered in 1991. If he knew where the art was, the secret died with him. Other leads pointed to the IRA in Ireland, or even a private collector in Asia who hired the thieves to steal the art for a basement man cave. But none of the art has ever surfaced on the black market. You can't sell a $250 million from it. It's too famous to touch. Part 5. The $10 million question. Today, the FBI says they know who the thieves were to low-level criminals who are now deceased. But knowing who did is different from knowing where the art is. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum is offering a $10 million reward for information leading to the recovery of the works in good condition. It is the largest reward ever offered by a private institution. There is even a standing offer of no questions asked. They don't want to put anyone in jail anymore. They just want the paintings back. If you walk through the museum today, the experience is haunting. You see the Vermeer frame empty, the Rembrandt frame empty. Because of the Sabella's will, the museum cannot replace them. They must wait. The frames are not just empty wood. They are symbols of a hole in our collective history. Somewhere, perhaps in a dusty attic in South Boston, or a temperature-controlled vault in Europe, or buried in a crate under a floorboard. The storm on the Sea of Galilee is still waiting for the clouds to clear. So, what do you think? Was it an inside job by a bored security guard? Was it a mob hit gone wrong? Or is the art sitting in the home of a billionaire who simply wants to look at beauty that no one else can see? Let me know your theories in the comments. And if you ever see a tiny bronze eagle or a stormy Rembrandt at a garage sale, you might want to call the FBI. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unsolved true crime. Until next time.